Hi, and welcome to Book Impressions. In this episode, I will give you information about the book, The Sex Bucket List, and it was written by Prescott Lane. Okay, and we can see by our cover, it's obviously is an interesting cover. First of all, I can see it's going to be about a woman, and she's making a bucket list, but I thought this was kind of funny when I found this book because it's not like the regular bucket list we're all used to. This is her sex bucket list, so I found this to be kind of interesting, kind of humorous. So, let me read you the blurb, and it says, Emerson is ready to reclaim her life. Her husband might have left her to juggle 3 kids and the family business, but enough wine and girl talk can get a lady through anything. A little more wine, and one girl's night later, she's also armed with a very special sort of bucket list. Her girlfriend insists the drought she's been in has to end, and Emerson's more than willing, particularly when a certain handsome co-worker is involved. Armed with new lingerie, a fancy high-tech toy, and a list of things to try, she's ready to take charge of love, her life, and her libido. Okay. Says, how much trouble can one well-meaning woman get into? I can only imagine what is on this bucket list. Okay, the book is 255 pages. It's in English. It was published back on March 7th of 2017, so it's been out for a while. It has 329 review ratings, and it's sitting at a 4.5 out of 5 stars overall. 5 stars is 64%, so it's over 50%, so it's liked. 4 stars is 25%, 3 stars 7%, 2 stars 3%, and 1 star 1%. So I always believe that if you put 4 and 5s together, because a lot of times I'll be reading 4 stars and some of them sound like 5 stars. So I like to just add these two together and you get 89%. So this book is very well liked. So let's read some of its headlines for 5 stars and see what at least the headlines are telling us about this book. You know, I always tell people when you hear reviews, you should always think this is a person's opinion. Some people are going to like it and some people aren't. But let's look at 5 stars. Okay, it says The Sex Bucket List is an amazing read. A fast-paced journey of self-discovery. Supermom needs love too. I want a Mattel of my own and a sequel, please. Okay, some people want more of this book. Enjoyed from beginning to end. Great book. I loved it. Wow, out of the park. I'll tell you, these 5 stars. What a great book this was. Couldn't put it down. So it tells me that that book has to have really good pacing. And I like a book with good pacing. I may have to check this book out myself. Okay, let's look at our 4 stars and see why they didn't quite give it a 5 star, because like I said, sometimes you'll read these 4 stars and they sound like they're 5 stars. Okay, I enjoyed it. So that person's telling us that. Honest and hilarious. Loved it. Okay, I guess there's some humor in this book. I wasn't aware of it. The blurb didn't kind of tell us that, did it? It says, go girl. Lists are sometimes necessary. A woman finding herself. Beautiful. Let me read that comment. Okay, I love this book. It has all the feels. Mateo made my heart melt. This was such a beautiful story. You know, it's a great book when you don't want it to end. I want more of Emerson and Mateo. And I always say, if people get one book And it's a standalone, but yet they're saying, I want another one. This is time for a series. Love this book. Hot is just a drop in the ocean. I absolutely adored this book. See, that's nothing. When you see this is a 5-star. I don't care what anybody says, it's a 5-star. A fun, sexy read. Let's look at 3 stars. 3 stars are people who haven't quite decided 100% on this book. They'll like something about it, or they may not like something. It says it's geared for women. So, in that case, if it's geared for women, then maybe men didn't think they should be reading it. It says good, but not as funny as Hope. Some people, humor is different amongst people. It says family. Okay, let's read that. This is about the formulation of a blended family. This is a new love, kids, and an ex, but everything works out in the end. Okay. 3 stars. It's a good book. 3. It's time you let someone love you again, stars. Okay. So it's kind of funny when you read some of these. It says good read. I like the mature characters and the understanding that each had for such mature issues. Kids, divorce, new love, finding yourself. I've never read anything like this before. I enjoyed it. So you can see already, it's an interesting, I would say, cycle of a book, because it's about older people in a relationship. After they have kids, they're in divorce. So this is kind of a different angle on a story. Let's look at our 2 stars, which is usually people who don't read this genre. And they didn't say anything. They just gave it 2 stars. Let's look at our 1 star. It was 1%. And 1 stars are people who really don't read this genre. I always laugh when people will give it like a 2 or a 1 star, but they won't tell you why. I always think those are interesting. But then, like I say, usually it's because, once again, no comment, just a 1 star. Usually it's because, like I say, it's not their genre for reading, and that's why they did that. But let's see if we can find something out about our author, Prescott Lane. It sounds like a pen name. I could be wrong, but it sounds like one. Usually, like I say, about 80% of romance writers or people who write about sex will usually have pen names. Okay, this must be Prescott Lane. She looks like she has some kind of a blog, or maybe an author type blog. But it looks like her blog right here. You can check that out. Like she has several books out. And they look like they run in price from $2.99 to $3.99, which is the standard. Okay, let's see what it's saying. It says, Prescott Lane is the USA Today best-selling author of All My Life. Okay, All My Life right here. Okay. She's written several other romance books with strong heroines and swoon-worthy heroes. She's originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, and holds a degree in sociology and an MSW from Tulane University. She married her college sweetheart, and they currently live in New Orleans with their 2 children and 2 crazy dogs. Okay. Prescott started writing at the age of 5 and sold her first story about a talking turtle to her father for a quarter. That's cute. She later turned to writing romance novels because there aren't enough happily ever after in real life. Sad. Connect with Prescott Lane. And you have a Pinterest, a Facebook, a Twitter, Instagram, the author's website. There's a lot of places you can go to. And it says, happily ever after guaranteed. So she's got all these books. Well, she's got some more. So looks like she's a big time writer. She's been writing a lot of books, is what it looks like. Let's see how many pages she's got here. She's got 2 pages worth of books, so she's out there writing. Anyway, what I'll do is I will put the sex bucket list URL link in the description below. And if you want to click on it and come over here and look at this book or look at some of the other books that she's got, feel free. And with all that in mind, this is Book Impressions. Until next time, signing off.